Time Talk Sports on Global Television. Time for us to look at the exciting world of sport, giving you all the big stories, the interviews, and the scores as they happen. Let's begin with the transfer news already concerning Nigerian players. As we look forward to the general transfer window, we've got big stories coming out from Spain. Like they say, when it rains in Spain, it pours. And some big story pouring as regards some Super Eagles players who play that trade in Spain. Let's go to Getafe, where Getafe is in talks with Real Sociedad from Nigerian international Omar Sadiq. Jose Abudalah's side is looking to sign a new striker when the transfer window reopens in January. Getafe wants to sign the lanky striker on loan until the end of the season. The 27-year-old joined Real Sociedad from Almeria for 20 million euros in 2022. The striker has battled for minutes at the club. He has interest from clubs in Spain and France. So we'll be looking at Kenny Sadiq Omar, who has played for the Super Eagles barely 3 times, coming in as a substitute if he will be moving from his present club to Real Sociedad. So from Real Sociedad to Getafe. Let's see if that move will help. Remember, Getafe was the one who signed the outcast from Manchester United, Mason Greenwood, and Mason Greenwood did do well in Getafe, and from Getafe he moved on to Marseille in France, where he's setting the Ligue 1 on fire with plenty goals. So could that be the luck of Omar Sadiq, Nigerian international, moving from Real Sociedad to Getafe? It's going to be a big one for him. So we'll be keeping our fingers crossed and watching keenly as the transfer window opens in January to know if Omar Sadiq will be moving to his newfound love, talking about Getafe. Then from that big story, let's move on to another transfer news concerning a Nigerian international. Let's take you to Portugal, where the big story says Portuguese club Boavista wants 6 million euros to sell their left back Bruno Oyemachi. The reports that Turkish outfit Trabzonspor have strong interest in the Nigerian international. Oyemachi has 18 months left on his contract with Boavista. The 25-year-old is reportedly open to a switch to Turkey after spending his entire professional career in Portugal. The defender joined the Boavista on loan from another Portuguese club, CD Farense, in the 2022-2023 season. The move was made permanent at the following campaign. He has made 15 league appearances for the Black and Whites this season with 2 goals and 1 assist to his name. And if you know Boavista very well, that's the club that the gambling goes further played for. Talking about Rashidi Yakini when he was at his best at the Portuguese club Boavista. We'll never forget the gambling striker, the goals father, Rashidi Yakini. And now since they signed Rashidi Yakini, and after the exploit of Rashidi Yakini, they made it a constant for that club to always have one Nigerian in their ranks and files. So Oyemachi is the next man, and he might just be leaving Boavista for a bigger team in Turkey. So general transfer window is going to be a plenty, many Nigerian players up for grabs. All right, let's move on to other big stories. Let's take you to the English Premier League. We're talking referee matters this morning, as a disgraced referee, David Cote, has decided not to appeal his dismissal by the PGMOL. Mail Sport understands it officially spells the end of Cote's career as a Premier League official after he was sacked by his bosses earlier this month. That followed the emergence of a video which landed Cote in a significant trouble. The first seemingly showing the 42-year-old bad-mouthing Liverpool's former manager Jurgen Klopp. The PGMOL's investigation was then extended to look into another clip which was made public, alleging to show him sniffing a white powder through a rolled-up banknote. It was apparently taken during the summer's European Championship. The PGMOL WPOL, that's talking about the referee body, found contains the actions made his position as a Premier League official untenable, and the organization headed up by Howard Webb terminated his employment with immediate effect. In the statement confirming his action, they said that David Cote's actions were found to be in serious breach of the provisions of his employment contract, with his position deemed untenable, and that's how the cookie crumbled, and he has lost his job for sniffing cocaine and also bad mouthing former Liverpool coach Jurgen Klopp. What a way to lose out a very high-paying job, and I'm sure David will be crying his eyes out. All right, from one bad news, let's go to probably not so good news. We're taking you to Arsenal. Yes, the brothers are the news of this morning. We're talking Arsenal injury fears. That's where the big story is coming out from, where Arsenal fear Bukayo Saka will be out until March with an hamstring injury he suffered against Crystal Palace on Saturday. Manager Mikel Arteta confirmed yesterday that the forward would be absent for many weeks following muscle issue he suffered in the first half of Arsenal's 5-1 win. Saka, who left Selhurst Park on crutches, will see a specialist following more scans, after which the length of his recovery period will be clearer. Meanwhile, the 23-year-old has suffered 3 hamstring injuries already this season, though this believed to be a tear is the most serious. With that in mind, the club are keen to investigate further. However, no sport understands there are concerns that Saka's layoff will stretch into late February or even early March. Meanwhile, news that comes as a major blow to Arsenal as they try to reduce Liverpool's 6-point lead over them at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Arsenal doctors are reluctant to put a time scale on Saka's return, given his track record of recovering swiftly from injuries. Alright, so let's see how this is going to pan out in the coming weeks, when Arsenal will be losing their talisman in the person of Bukayo Saka. How well will the Gothers do now that he's down and out is the big question. But they've got Gabriel Jesus, who has been scoring all goals last 2 weeks. He has scored as much as 6 goals in 2 matches, so they've got a very capable replacement as long as Gabriel Jesus is consistent. That's the catch there. All right, from the Emirates, let's take you to Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams. All right, the big story is Rashford shock admission, and Amorim is in the news this morning. Ruben Amorim has questioned the influence that Marcus Rashford's camp have over him after the unsettled Manchester United star said he is ready for a new challenge. Rashford made the bombshell claim in an interview last week after he was dropped for the Manchester derby and has now been left out of the last 3 games by Amorim. The United boss believes Rashford's representatives may have been responsible for putting the idea to speak out in the 27-year-old's head, but now wants to move on from the drama and focus on getting him back on the pitch. Amorim asked Rashford for the squad because he was unhappy with the players' attitude and performance levels in training. It's understood that United won't put their head coach under pressure to pick Rashford, even though continuing to leave him out could impact his value if he is sold in the January transfer window. He was valued at £100 million after scoring 30 goals in Erik ten Hag's first season at Old Trafford, but that figure is already believed to have halved. It makes little sense to have a player who earns £350,000 a week sat on the sidelines, but the United hierarchy are refusing to get involved in the situation, with co-owner Jim Ratcliffe, directors Dave Brailsford, and Chief Executive Omar Berrada, and Technical Director Jason Wilcox leaving Amorim to make their decision on team selection. Meanwhile, Alejandro Garnacho was dropped forward in Derby for similar reasons. The Argentinian winger has played off the bench in the last two games against Tottenham and Bournemouth, while Rashford has remained isolated. Meanwhile, Amorim has left the door open for Rashford to return at Wolves on Boxing Day, but giving no guarantees that he will be brought in from the cold. Alright, let's go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we'll give you more stories concerning Rashford featuring in the Manchester United official 2025 calendar. So it tells you Rashford ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. We're still looking at big stories that come out from Old Trafford, and we're looking at Marcus Rashford featuring in Manchester United official 2025 calendar. That's the big story coming out there, that Marcus Rashford features as the face of January in Manchester United official 2025 calendar, despite being linked with a departure from the club after a dismal campaign under Erik ten Hag last season. The arrival of Ruben Amorim appeared to offer the 27-year-old the chance of a new lease of life at Old Trafford. In Amorim's first Premier League game at the club, Rashford netted an early goal in a draw with Ipswich before following that up with a brace in a dominant 4-0 win over Everton last month. Since then, however, Rashford has found his game time increasingly limited and was dropped to the bench for defeats against Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Both Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho were left out of the squad for United's derby clash with Manchester City. The Argentine has since worked his way back into Amorim's plans, but there has been no such return for Rashford, as he was left out again against Spurs in the EFL Cup and Bournemouth in the league on Saturday. The omission led to speculations that the forward could continue his career away from his boyhood club, and Rashford added fuel to the fire by revealing last week that he is ready for a new challenge in a bombshell interview. Alright, that's for Rashford, but for his face to be on the 2025 Manchester United official calendar tells you a lot that he is likely to stay put at Manchester. Let's take you to Portugal, where the big story is about a man who replaced Amorim in Sporting Lisbon is about to be sacked. Alright, Sporting Lisbon is a big story now, as Sporting Lisbon are reportedly set to part ways with Ruben Amorim's replacement just 1 month into his reign at the club. After more than 4 years at Sporting, Amorim departed the club last month to replace Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. During his spell in charge, Amorim secured Sporting's first league title in more than 2 decades before repeating defeats last season, as speculations linking him with a move to the Premier League intensified. After Amorim departed for Paços New, the club appointed former Portugal international João Pereira to serve as his successor. Pereira had previously managed the club's reserve side and assumed control of the first team on November 11th. However, after winning just one of his 4 league games, the club are reportedly set to sack the 40-year-old. According to Portuguese outlet Record News, the decision comes after the club's poor recent run of form that included a 5-1 drubbing by Arsenal, a 2-1 defeat to Club Brugge in the Champions League. The report states that Club Chiefs will hold a meeting with Pereira after the Christmas break and that he is not expected to still be in charge when Sporting play host to Benfica on Sunday. Despite a stumbling recent run under Pereira, Sporting remain top of the Premier League ahead of second place Porto on goal difference. The club have also reached the quarterfinals of the Portuguese club Cup after surviving a scare against Santa Clara on Wednesday to triumph in extra time courtesy of a goal from star striker Victor Gyökeres. Meanwhile, Amorim has enjoyed a mixed start to his life at Old Trafford after winning just one of his 4 Premier League games at the club. Amorim led United to a dramatic Manchester derby victory against their bitter rivals last weekend. Any hopes that the result would serve as a turning point for what has been the club's worst ever start to a Premier League campaign were quickly dashed. However, on Saturday, United were comprehensively defeated by Bournemouth, with the Cherries running out 3-0 winners. Very sad commentary for the Red Devils, and everybody's watching keen to see if Amorim can turn the tables around. But one key thing remains that Manchester United needs to deep and get into the transfer market to see how much players they can bring in and how much players they can ship out so that they can get the team running on full gears going forward. Alright, let's take you to Italy as we talk Italian football. That's what we're looking at as we look at other big stories that are making the rounds. Let's tell you that Italian football supporters performed the fascist salute after Benito Mussolini's great-grandson scored his first professional goal. Roman Floriani Mussolini, who is on loan at Serie B side Juve Stabia from Lazio, scored the only goal of the game as in a 1-0 win over Cesena. After scoring, Mussolini put his finger into his lips, but fans responded by chanting his name and performing the Roman salute. The gesture, which involves extending the right arm straight with the palms facing down, is associated with fascism and was frequently performed by Benito Mussolini, who founded and led the National Fascist Party and was the Prime Minister of Italy from 1922 until 1943. As a youth player, Romano Floriani Mussolini spent time at Roma's Academy before joining Lazio in 2016. He was previously named on the bench for Lazio in various competitions, but has yet to make his competitive senior debut for the club. So far this season, he has made 18 appearances in Serie B for Juve Stabia. The 21-year-old who plays as a right back or right wing back is the third child of the Mario Floriani and the politician Alessandra Mussolini. His grandfather, Roman Mussolini, was a pianist, while actress Sophia Loren is his great-aunt. Alright, that's quite a long lineage of star players and pianists and also politicians involved in that family line. Alright, from that big story in Italy, let's go to Zezou. Yes, we're talking about Zidane. It's in the news this morning, and we're looking at the big story concerning Zinedine Zidane. Zinedine Zidane would only consider to return to management to take charge of 2 teams, according to reports. The Frenchman, out of management since his second departure from Real Madrid in 2021, has consistently been linked with clubs including Manchester United and Spanish outlet Marca. Claim that he is in no rush to re-enter the dugout and would only be interested in doing so should Real Madrid offer the French national team come calling. Yes, it's either Real Madrid or the French national team come calling. Since leaving Real Madrid, Zinedine Zidane has turned down several high-profile roles, including offers from Bayern Munich and various national teams. Zidane's journey as a coach began with Real Madrid Castilla, the reserve team of Real Madrid in 2014. He was then promoted to the first team manager of Real Madrid in January 2016, taking over from Rafael Benitez during a turbulent period for the club. Zidane's impact was immediate and spectacular. In his first season, he led Real Madrid to the 2015-2016 Champions League title, defeating Atletico Madrid in the final. His success continued as he gathered the team to two more straight Champions League victories in 2017 and 2018, making him the first manager to win the tournament 3 times in a row in modern era. Zidane's ability to manage a dressing room full of stars like Cristiano Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos and Luka Modric played a crucial role in his success. And beyond European glory, Zidane also led Real Madrid to a domestic triumph. He won the La Liga in the 2016-2017 season, edging out fierce rivals Barcelona. His tenure also saw the club win 2 FIFA Club World Cup titles and 2 UEFA Super Cups, further cementing his status as a particularly capable manager. After his 3rd Champions League triumph in 2018, Zidane shocked the football world by stepping down as Real Madrid manager, citing the need for a change at the club and in his own career. However, his break from football was short-lived. Less than a year later, in March 2019, Zidane returned to Real Madrid following the dismissal of Santiago Solari, taking on the challenge of rebuilding a team in transition. During his second stint, Zidane achieved further success, leading Real Madrid to the 2020 La Liga title amid the COVID-19 pandemic. This triumph was seen as a testament to his adaptability as he modeled a new-look team without Cristiano Ronaldo, who had left for Juventus in 2018. However, despite his success, his second spell was marked by inconsistency, particularly in the Champions League, where Real Madrid failed to reach the final. But let's just also let you know that in May 2021, Zidane left Real Madrid for the second time, this time citing frustration with lack of support and clear direction from the club's hierarchy. His farewell later expressed dissatisfaction with the way his exit was handled, despite all his accomplishments. Since leaving, Zidane has been linked with several high-profile positions, including the French national team, the Paris Saint-Germain, and Manchester United. Alright, that's a long list of how well Zinedine Zidane has done, and he says only 2 teams can make him return back to management: the French national team or Real Madrid. But there are 2 options open for him. For the French national team, Didier Deschamps is the coach of the national team, and they didn't do so well in the last tournament. So hopefully there might just be a chance that the French Football Association might decide to let go Didier Deschamps and give Zinedine Zidane the chance to take charge of the French national team. Let's see how that pans out. But for Real Madrid, it's also an opportunity for Zidane to get a shot at coaching that team again, because we know that currently one man who is the most successful coach in world football and in club football, talking about Carlo Ancelotti, is nearing his end in that team. So many, regardless of the recent trophy they won, he has been in all kinds of pressure due to the inconsistency of the Galacticos recently. So would the Real Madrid hierarchy decide to give Zidane another chance to coach that team is the big question. Alright, let's talk some Formula 1 before we go for a quick break. Let's talk Lewis Hamilton is in the news this morning. Lewis Hamilton, that's talking car racing now. Lewis Hamilton has been told he must make a significant adaptation if he is to fully integrate to life at Ferrari. The seven-time world champion stunned the racing world in February when it was confirmed he would be leaving Mercedes for the prancing horse. Hamilton signed a mega £40 million plus deal with the Italian giant and will embark on a new era early next year as he prepares for his 19th season in Formula One. Founded by Enzo Ferrari, the Italian manufacturer are renowned for their patriotism, and Hamilton has been informed that learning the language will be crucial to his success. In a recent interview, Formula One President Stefano Domenicali revealed the 39-year-old is already hard at work learning the language. 6 of Hamilton's 7 titles have come behind the wheel of the Mercedes, with the last of those coming in 2020. After embarking on the longest spell of his career without a race win, Hamilton triumphed at the British Grand Prix at the Silverstone in July. That victory marked his ninth at the event and his first win since the 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. He followed that up with another P1 at the Podium 1 at the Belgian Grand Prix later that month after teammate George Russell had been disqualified for an underweight car. However, Hamilton ended the campaign with a bizarre slump of form that saw him claim that he's not fast anymore after a disappointing showing in the qualifying for the Qatar Grand Prix last month. Alright, let's roll in for another quick break. Hopefully, when we return, we'll be giving some other stories making the rounds in the EPL and in tennis. Stay with us. Alright, welcome back from that break. It's Still Talk Sport, and we've finished the first half of the program. We've given some of the big stories. We still have many more for you. But before we get into the other part of the stories, I've got in the live studios the man called Gabriel Batistuta Obi, who is a gang like making it into the studios, and we got lots of talking points. Merry Christmas, first of all.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you.
All right, the coaches are not having Merry Christmas, obviously. They're having tough times. Amorim's replacement in Sporting Lisbon, news retrievers from Portugal says he's likely to be sacked even before Sunday's game. Talking about João Pereira, who was a former Portuguese international. Do you think the burden of replacing Amorim, who had stayed there for years, won back-to-back league titles, is why this pressure is too much, and probably the club not being patient enough? He has won just one match in 4 games.
Well, it's not easy to have fight. It's not easy to replace a good coach. Those who might succeed are those who were in the coaching crew or coaching staff of the existing coach.
Is that honest true? We saw a Liverpool coach coming from the Dutch league, and a Slot coming from PSV, he hit the ground running in Liverpool, and he's been guns blazing all through, still topping the league, still doing in the Champions League. He's been super amazing.
Well, these are one in the million exceptions, yes. Okay. But you see, the end of the beginning, the league is not over. It's after the league you can give us that credit. Right now, you will hit the ground running after a while you sit down. But once the league is over, you can see, actually say, okay, and Slot started from the get-go around the whole race. But you see, most times, coaches are coming to a new format, have difficulties in blending with the style of play of the club or the style of play of the exceeding coach. Most that succeed are coaches who were in the coach's crew. They just carry on, So it's not always easy. You see, the best of coaches have been sacked because they came in, they couldn't even perform. You've had the license for Chelsea. Chelsea had the highest number of hemorrhage of coaches because most of the company they don't understand the dynamics, and so they are all embarrassed at their own results because somehow you have to first of all get the buy-in of the players. Then the players have to play for you, and you have to do a lot of internal management. Bad management, managing their egos and all that. So it's always easy.
Do you think Amorim is suffering from players not wanting to play for him in Manchester United, or just the players not good enough?
I think he has to first of all really concern the player, because see, what did Van Nistelrooy do differently? That he won 3 out of 4, he won 3 and drew 1. Because the players found a breath of fresh air, and they want to prove a point. They played for Van Nistelrooy, but I don't know what tactics Amorim don't have issues now with Garnacho and with Rashford, and now these are leaders. Rashford is the leader in the team. So if you pick on a leader in the team, somebody that you have issues, you have people who are loyal to him, you have issues down the street. So it behoves on you when you come to a club, look at the leaders and parry the leaders. The leaders will to help you parry the grassroots. That's what the
system. Do you think Manchester United made a mistake by quickly hiring Amorim rather than giving Van Nistelrooy that chance to lead the team?
I would have said Amorim should come in the summer. Allow Van Nistelrooy to run the show already, because whoever comes will not win the league. That was a given. Whoever was going to call Amorim or Van Nistelrooy will not win the league. So perhaps they will allow Van Nistelrooy to continue that momentum he has got already. But anyway, he's still hiring a new one, because perhaps the pressure from the fact will say new coach and all that. But then, well, you see, the hiring always comes last. Let's see what Amorim does, because he's a coach. He has a lot of credibility on his side. He has done so well in the Portuguese league. So let him prove his mettle. But you see, I would advise him, let him tone down or have issues with players who are leaders in the club.
But if the players are indisciplined, would you say because they're leaders you will not discipline them? Well, Rashford that has been partying too often, that's not the Rashford we used to know some seasons back when he was actually delivering the goods.
It's a matter of calling them to a meeting, have a heart-to-heart. Let them go to all the press of the club. They have the psychologist. They have people in the club that can talk with him. Bring him, give his attention, special attention. I let him understand you want to make use of him, and trust you can help him off the field. Come to tell off the field. Maybe he's going through a depression or something. But you see, that's why I need to manage him. Manage his issues off the field. But you see, benching him for too long will be counterproductive. Bring him out, bring him on the bench to play. But then keep him out of games, deny him game time, has a way of sending a wrong signal to the player. And because of that, it has affected his performance and affected other players who are sympathetic to his cause. So he's going to have bad management skills to manage Rashford. Rashford is a key player in the team, and he's a senior player in the team. So he has to try and navigate through. That's what makes you a manager, my brother. You see, to be a manager is not by mouth. So you have to be to deal with the egos of players, deal with their off-field activities, deal with perhaps go through family issues. So that's where management comes in. But you see, don't hit the sledgehammer too quickly. Give them opportunity to know they can make a bet before you hit the sledgehammer. But you have to win your games. So you must make sure your group is intact as much as possible. Ensure there is no descent in your camp. So if you do stupid work, do the worker because you want to achieve something. The time for discipline is called, but measure the discipline. That's my own recipe for it.
All right, let's look at, we took the story about Zinedine Zidane saying he's willing to return back to management as usual, but only two teams will make him return back to management. Is either the Galacticos or the French national team. We know that the French national team has got Didier Deschamps, who has been the head coach of the national team, has won the World Cup with them, won the European Championship, but the last championship wasn't too good. They lost at the finals, and the French national team. Do you think that the French Football Association will be willing to let go Didier Deschamps, knowing fully well that he's been with the national team for more than 10 years now, and Zidane has been waiting in the wings? Or do you think the Galacticos would want to let go Carlo Ancelotti, who happens to be the most successful club coach in the world? Recently, the Galacticos have not been having it so good in the Champions League and also in the La Liga. Do you think there's a chance for Zinedine Zidane?
Well, there's a chance for him, Zidane, but you see, Zidane's the way he left Real Madrid was not on the last week. He left, came back, and left again. So, do
you think that's why he wants to return back to the Galacticos to make amends and probably live on a better high?
Perhaps, but I think the national team should be his dream because I think he has finished everything else with the Galacticos. Let him focus on the national team. A time will come whereby the national team of France will be tired of the shop because the shop has been 10 years. You need some bit of fresh air. You need to be able to have some new players. So that is the future of the French national team. So now that he has indicated interest in the national team, Deschamps should be packing his bags because...
No, I was saying that Deschamps is winning the World Cups, winning the European Championship. Do you think he's going anywhere?
Well, he will win the World Cup, but what if you lose your dressing room? Because...
Can you use your dressing room and still be able to win championship?
Well,
which will be better for the French team?
Because it's not going to be for you anymore. So let him know that his days are drawing nigh. Because perhaps maybe he can survive the next World Cup. Maybe, but after the next World Cup, nobody can still be there.
But do you think there's a guarantee Zidane will do well for the national team?
Zidane is a prolific player. He has put his battle in the Galacticos. He will do so well. He has taken 2 years rest, deserved rest. Just like the former Liverpool coach didn't deserve rest right now. So he's better to go rest, refresh, go to some refresher courses, get back online, see where he made a mistake, and do better. Zidane is obviously one coach of when he come back. He will do extremely well. He has played there, he was a captain of that team. So he will do, the time was captain of the national team also. So these are two captains who are coming back to coach the national team. They will do well. Because now they will coaching for pride. They will coaching because they are stakeholders in what they are doing. They will do it better. They are bringing Johnny Men who will just come and call anybody and leave. So Deschamps, you just have a few more years for your coaching career, plus or minus after the World Cup in America, you're off.
But let's just take some other stories. Talking from Lewis Hamilton has been told he must make a significant adaptation if he is to fully integrate life in Ferrari. The 7-time world champion stunned the racing world in February when he was confirmed he would be leaving Mercedes for the prancing horse. Hamilton signed a mega £40 million deal with the Italian giant and will embark on a new era early next year as he prepares for his 19th season in Formula One. Talking Formula One, would you say Lewis Hamilton, there's a chance he might regain his mojo now that he's obviously leaving Mercedes and going to Ferrari? All his 6+ titles he won in Formula One was with Mercedes. Do you think he still has that in him to win titles if he moves to Ferrari?
Let him go and try his luck elsewhere. He has settled, he has done everything. He has won everything for Mercedes. So there's no point staying back. I mean, the motivation will not be there.
Well, Max Verstappen seems to be still the best driver in Formula 1.
Let him go to Ferrari, and give the bro for his money. Because in Ferrari, he will have a new vista. He will want to prove some point. And so there will be this energy to kick in and do better. So change is important. Let him go to Ferrari and try his best. And then he'll give Verstappen a run for his money.
All right, talking Jürgen Lopetegui has warned his West Ham players to be wary of falling foul of a new manager bounce for a second time when they take on Southampton on Boxing Day. Bottom of the table Saints have appointed Ivan Juric to replace Russell Martin and face the Hammers in their first game under the new boss. West Ham were Ruud van Nistelrooy's first opponent after he took charge at Leicester, and Lopetegui fell 3-1 defeat at the King Power Stadium. Something he said his players need to make sure does not happen again. Lopetegui also believes West Ham will see more from striker Niklas Füllkrug despite his disappointing first season start against Brighton. Füllkrug struggled to make an impact at the London Stadium and was withdrawn before the hour, only for the Hammers to score the equalizer less than a minute later with Gerard Bowen who moved into the middle. Look at Lopetegui. Do you think we were talking about him before we came on here? Do we say he's a good coach or an average coach? Where do we place him?
Well, Lopetegui was a good coach.
that was when he was in Spain.
Yeah. But he has suffered a lot of a downward spiral lately. In fact, from his stint at winning the national team, he now began that mistake he made by announcing that he's going to go to Real Madrid, and the Spanish team dropped him. That was the beginning of his problems. So he has tried to coach PSG. He didn't do well. He came to West Ham. He went to Kenya. He has been to England twice. I mean, we don't understand what has happened to him. I don't think the self-belief has left him.
Was it that sack, that sudden sack, that move to Real Madrid and the national team?
That sudden sack was the breaking point for him. He came at the wrong side. He hit him on the wrong side, and so he has not recovered from that side. Because if you see his coaching career has been topsy-turvy, and he has always left with very questionable circumstances in every club he has been thereafter. In Real Madrid, he didn't stay long. He left. And left with very poor results. He moved on to England. He left with poor results. He went back to Spain. He came back to England again. Right now in West Ham, he's struggling. So I hope and pray that after this season he'll be able to find his mojo and will get back to something good for him. He's really on the downward spiral.
All right, let's talk about Man City, the blue side of Manchester, where Manchester City have identified Juventus goalkeeper Michele Greggio as a replacement for current number one Edison. According to reports, Pep Guardiola is scrutinizing his next recruitment options ahead of the January transfer window opening amidst the club's current dismal run of form. Much of the discussion surrounding City's recent struggles has focused on the goalkeeping department, with both Edison and Stefan Ortega being trusted in recent defeats. One of those losses came in a 2-0 Champions League defeat against Juventus on December 11, and the best goalkeeper on that night was the Italian team shortstopper. The Greggio was voted the best goalkeeper in Serie A at the end of last season after starring for Monza before choosing to join Juventus, where he signed a contract until 2029. Do you think goalkeepers just suddenly get bad? Do you think Man City is just looking for a scapegoat? Well, Edison still remains one of the best goalkeepers in the EPL, and he's also another fantastic goalkeeper. Do you think Pep is losing focus now, and so is looking for anybody to blame but the goalkeeper? Yes, we know he had issues with Edison as regards him taking drugs before going for matches, but could that be the key of the dismal outing of Man City all this while?
Well, taking drugs for matches is very poor. It's not sport badly. So that's a early discipline. That's a disciplinary issue. But you see, Man City's woes is not the goalkeeper, it's a defensive problem. So looking for a scapegoat in Ortega, I mean, is by the way, you know. So Pep will look into how to get back his defenders, and get back a midfielder who replaces Rodri. Because since Rodri left, the midfield has collapsed abysmally. So get back a player can replace Rodri. They can get 2 more defenders to start to play from January before the other ones recover from their injuries. As the downward spiral will continue. You know, so Ederson is not a bad keeper. He's the one keeper for Brazil.
Yeah.
The one keeper in Brazil. I don't think he should be the one to be the scapegoat. Even though Ortega is not doing badly, but if he thinks by training the keeper, but it doesn't matter how good he is, the
goalkeepers do have their bad days.
Yes, if the defender can shoot the goalkeeper, if the players are good, the goalkeeper becomes an excellent goalkeeper. But you see, if the defense is poor, the goalkeeper is the limit to which can contain the onslaught. He will not cave in. So to spare Ederson and fix his defense.
Okay, let's talk about one player. Saka is in the news. A lot of Arsenal having issues. They're not confident. They're saying Saka might be out till March next year. Is this the point where we say goodbye to the title for Arsenal, because one of their key men is going to be out till next year March? Even though the club doctors are saying they cannot completely put a time frame, because Saka has this ability to recover from injuries really quick. But what happens if it goes the other way, where he's out till March? Do you think the Gunners can pull through and win the title?
It will be very difficult. The Gunners can't pull through. They should get a replacement for him as fast as they can.
Is there any replacement currently?
Outside, the replacements we can get from the Premier League, or you see, Arsenal needs 2 players. We need a prolific striker in the Seaman, and we need
Rashford.
Rashford, the English syndrome. I'm afraid he may not be able to. Rashford, is he a winger or a forward?
Yeah.
So Rashford is a winger like that. So we need a winger in the form of Saka, and somebody in the Ferguson team has been doing so well. We need a winger who gives us, because right now Sterling has not been able to stand up to Saka in that way, and Sterling is also injured. So I want to implore on the coach to buy a winger for Saka, then get a striker. Well, Havertz is failing. Get a striker that can give you 20 goals in a season. We have the likes of Seaman, we have the likes of Victor Gilchrist in Sporting Lisbon. Those 2 guys are my candidates. If you get Seaman will go for less. So is this £17 million or is it £65 million or whatever? Get Seaman in and let people strip passes to him. Seaman can do that for you. So I don't know why our coach just beat around the bush. He knows what to do. You should get a prolific striker that can score goals for you. Get a winger that can stand himself for Saka for the next 3 months. When Saka comes back, Saka takes over his place. The winger, you plays Carabao Cup. And we have Champions League, we have Carabao Cup, we have 3 different leagues to play. So the players are definitely thought about the exertion will be much. So you need to be able to switch players. You need to change. So if there's nobody playing Saka's wing, it's a problem. Saka has been able to come in from the wing. He's one of the highest scorer in the league.
But does this tell us how the weakness or the strength of the Arsenal team? If one player is out, they don't have a bench that can bring a player as good as him. What
the coach has done so far has been to switch players. Right now, what I think the options are available for him is bring Martinelli to the right, bring Trossard, go take Trossard to the left. Right? Martinelli plays very well both left. Bring Martinelli back to Saka's position. Let Trossard go back to Martinelli's place.
Okay.
Perfect combination. Trossard does very well with the left wing. Martinelli is a winger. He can do very well as Saka's wing. Then you put a Sterling on the bench. Sterling is injured. So when you place a Martinelli, place a Trossard, and Jesus, who's in favor, is still playing with the Havertz. You have a perfect team balance. Saka will be missed very well. Then you have a one to come in for the midfielder for a replacement in second half if there is any case. But that's what you should do right now. You have a player in Martinelli that form is climbing up a little bit. Bring to the right. So Martinelli and Trossard can switch wings. So they will be able to finish the half very well. You have Mourinho there, you have a Havertz, you have a captain. So you have your complement is still intact. But see, in January, you must add some more. Top some players more.
All right, this is my next question to you. Got a Bruno Oyemachi. Boavista is placing €6 million as a fee on him. And do you think, which club do you think would be best for Bruno Oyemachi to move to, from Portugal to Italian League or the English League?
Bruno, well, he's a young player. I used to go to the English League, where he'll be seen. But lately also, the Italian League has done so well. The 2 African players of the year, back-to-back, has come to the Italian League. So the Italian League is not doing badly in itself. So but you see, he should go to a club that can give him game time.
Game time.
That's all. So that's why I will be biased in where he goes to. If the Italian League can give you game time, go there. If the English League, you're going to come and give game time, go there, because you need to play regularly. Because it's not about the league now. You see, when you Seaman and Lukman came to the Italian League, and they have won the African Premier League back to back. That's even Salah in England has won it so far in the past year. So your visibility is when you play regularly.
All right, that's where we draw the curtains on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. I want to say a big thank you to Gabriel Batistuta for coming into the studio and giving us a punchy analysis of all the big stories we shared with you this morning. And we're saying Merry Christmas ahead, and wishing you the very best of this 2024 Yuletide season. My name is Anthony Memorial, King of Sports, saying thank you for joining us. Let's do this again tomorrow.